Hello and welcome to another edition of Conversations. My name is John McGraw. I'm the Interim Director of Communications here at the Lansing School District. And today we are pleased to have with us the principal of Gier Park, Mr. Cadogan. Welcome.
Hello.
So we'll start off with maybe a little bit of background about yourself, and then we'll get into the school. So what made you get into education in the first place?
The story I like to tell everyone is that, growing up in the Lansing School District, teachers were my doctors. And so, I had the privilege of having teachers, name dropping, coming, Alfonso Solais, Mr. Billings. That's how great of a teacher he was for me. He never lost a Mister. Miss Elliott, and, they had a really, really big impact on me. And thinking about kind of the lives that they lived, seeing that they were able to do all this amazing stuff in the school, but also really make a difference outside of the school and in the community. Those are always things that were really compelling to me. And so when I think it was my ninth grade, I had decided relatively early that, I kind of wanted to be like them when I grew up. And from there, that kind of set the trajectory of my life. And so I've been at education since then.
That's fantastic. And to go ahead and go through the Lansing School District and then want to come back to teach there as well. I'm sure that means a lot to you that you got your education. You had mentors like you'd mentioned.
Yeah.
Did you always want to come back or stay in Lansing here and teach, or did you think about going elsewhere? Or what brought you back here or kept you here to teach?
Yeah, it's interesting. I think kind of when you grow up in a city, there's always a phase that you kind of get to in your life where you're saying, I got to get out of here. And so I got to go to college in Mount Pleasant at Central Michigan University, and see kind of a more rural side of the state, a part of the state I wasn't really exposed to. And I think that kind of started the thinking that if I wanted to teach, I wanted to, kind of do for my community. But it wasn't really until I got the opportunity to teach in other states like New York and Wisconsin that I really started to kind of cultivate this sense of wanting to put on for the city and see education as a way that I can give back to my community. I think I really kind of developed that mindset when I actually got the opportunity to leave the state. And so when the opportunity arose, I jumped at it. And yeah, so I guess it was just a progress. I'd be remiss if I didn't admit that. I started off saying, I got to get out of here. But I have since really kind of cultivated a deep passion for what I affectionately call my city.
That's great. And I did the same thing. I left for a while and I came back, and there's something about the city that draws you in, and me as family and stuff was here too, but it's home. So that's fantastic that you went elsewhere and then you came back to your community here. So,
Yeah.
so after teaching for a while, this is your first year as a principal. Is that correct?
Yeah. First 4 months.
So you came in right in the middle of the pandemic here, and so you haven't had, as far as a principal, a normal year yet. But talk about a little bit of the, some of the challenges that were involved with the pandemic, and maybe how you just saw some of your teachers and yourself grow and adapt, with the situation.
Yeah. So what I'll say to kind of tee it off, I will say that I was fortunate that I had the opportunity to take part in one of Lansing's unique programs. That's the Aspiring Leaders Program. And essentially what that is that's an opportunity for a teacher like myself previously to really kind of flex as a school leader. So I got to do essentially a residency, and I got to see all of our schools. I got to sit in some of the meetings district-wide. I got to go to the ISD and some of the neighboring school districts and kind of get a 360 view of our district and our region. So I think that was really helpful for me. in my preparation to becoming a principal. I can honestly say that, I would have never applied to be a principal, period. But definitely, I would have never applied to be a principal in a pandemic had I not had that experience. But because I did have that experience, I applied, and I, thankfully got that opportunity. And this year has been a really interesting. Myself being a younger principal, what has been really an amazing opportunity is to kind of speed up some of the processes that were taking some time. So the integration of technology within our instructional practices, within our management processes, the integration of social media, those things are, there could have never been a moment more, ripe to take advantage of these things than now. And so because of that, as a young leader, I get the unique opportunity to really kind of champion, yes, use Facebook. Yes, use Google Classroom. Please don't send me Word docs, only Google Docs. I get to champion that kind of stuff. But on the flip side, though, there's some real human cost. I think like never before, there's less separation between what we do at work and at home. As you can see, I'm at home. And so I think as educators, there's an extent to which everything that we do, there's always a struggle to find balance. But I think that that's even more so true in our current moment when we're spending a lot of time home. Thankfully, you can't hear them, but my girls are scurrying about the house downstairs, probably torturing my dog in a really loving way.
Sure.
But that's there's a human cost to that, and it's difficult. And I try to open myself up for as many conversations as possible, knowing that my staff are really putting in overtime, and they're giving Herculean efforts to kind of overcome some of these challenges. And on the flip side, as I've just said, our parents are doing something that they could have never, felt ready for. We're asking them to be parents, to work their current jobs while also, spending some time as teaching assistants, as test proctors, as technology connoisseurs, as food picker-uppers. It's a lot of stuff on their plate. So at Gier, our approach has just been, we're in this together, and just to have a heart for empathy. So, yeah.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah, it's a challenge for everybody, and just seeing all the schools and all the administrators, teachers, and parents, like you're saying, step up in this new way has been just amazing to watch, and it's something none of us could have thought about in March or even when we got rolling out. But everybody stepped in, community partners, everybody, learning labs, and we all pitched in and got it done. So it's been a challenge, but it really shows what a community can do when they need to step up. So.
Yeah.
As far as Gier Park, tell me some wonderful programs that are going on there, or just showcase your school a little bit. What's going on there that you're really proud of?
Hey, we can talk about programs and different initiatives because we got them. But when we talk about Gier Park, what we got to start with is we're a family. What's been so powerful in this moment is that our Gier Park family has really kind of wrapped their arms around one another, wrapped their arms around families, and they've wrapped their arms around me because this stuff is really, really hard. We just had a situation the other day where prior to the shutdown, we had a grandma, bless her soul, trying to figure out how to get her students' devices to work. So this grandma, you can do the math, was alive for the first typewriter, then the cool typewriter with the little screen on it, and then the Macintosh computer. So she's seen it all.
Yeah.
But Google Classroom can be a struggle, and so she had come to the office just to kind of get some help. We had been over the house prior to, but we were able to kind of figure out her situation, and she started, she was crying, and she was just saying how thankful she was just to, have teachers who care,
Mhm.
not just for the students and for their learning, but care for the families. And so when we talk about one of the biggest things that kind of separates Gier and makes it such a wonderful place, I think when we talk about family, that's really it. We've got some also cool programs. If you are a Gier Park parent, we just started a PTA with a full-fledged 6 members. So feel free to join the family. We got a cool after-school math program that we just started. We've got the best food distribution team that one could ever ask. I call our wonderful food distribution team, I call them the Chick-fil-A ladies of Lansing. There might be a copyright problem. And we've got a number of different programs that we want to kind of pick back up once we are able to. Weekly, we do a student of the week pick up or drop off. So if you've been the student of the week, we've got a prize for you waiting. And so all you Gier students of the week, just know we got them coming. And as soon as we're able to let you get those prizes, we'll let you do it. But we've got a lot of good stuff, and really the best way for you to kind of stay in the know of what those programs are to follow us on Facebook. We do a lot of great work on Facebook. Last week we just did a cool interview with our Pathways to Promise staff person, Ms. Jen Smart, who is an extension of the DHHS program. So she helps with getting people their bridge cards and other Section 8 housing and all these things. So I can go on all day with
Sure.
that. So
Yeah.
great setup.
Well, that's great. Mr. Cadogan, I really appreciate you joining us here on Conversations. One thing that I've known you about a year now, and you're really passionate about your students and about education in general. And I picked that up from day one of meeting you, and I've seen it in meetings we've been into and Conversations. And I know the district really appreciates that, and the students and the staff. So I appreciate you joining with us, and make sure to subscribe on our YouTube channel here so you can see more conversations. And Mr. Cadogan, I appreciate you joining us.
Hey, appreciate it, John. And I'll sign off with how we always sign off at Gier Park, and that is a hashtag in this together.
All right, I love it. All right, thanks again.